Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah from Teacher is Happy, and today I'm going to be doing the top 10 tips for report writing. So if you guys are new to my channel, my name's Sarah. I'm an Australian primary school teacher teaching year 2. This is my 4th year on class. I have an Instagram called Teacher is Happy where I'm constantly talking to pre-service teachers, beginning teachers, early career teachers, newly qualified teachers about how great and how hard our profession is, and something they always ask about is report writing and how to make that a little bit easier. I feel like there's so much unsaid and lots of things I picked up along the way that no one's like explicitly taught me. So I thought I would sit down today and give you all my tips and tricks and how to just make report writing that little bit easier. If you've been writing reports for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they're never a fun time. It's obviously not our favorite part of the job, but it's something we have to do, and we want to make sure we make it as easy on ourselves as possible. So hopefully this will give you some ideas. So let's start with number 1, which is do not reinvent the wheel. Yes, reports should be individualized for the kids. They're all little humans with different personalities. They have different strengths, weaknesses, but there's only so many ways you can say certain things in a professional but yet parent accessible manner. So making sure that you're using resources that are available to you, like TeachStarter. They have these free report bank comments or like little sentences you can just copy and paste in and reword to help you. Don't make it hard on yourself. Use the resources available to you, and I'll link them down below. Number 2 is that nothing should be a huge shock. So when parents open up that envelope and get the report for the first time reading it, they should not be like shocked and saying, this is not my child, I've never heard of this before, I've never seen this behavior before, the teacher has never contacted me about this before. Any big concerns should not be written for the first time in a report. If it's been a big concern or it's happened for the last 2 terms, make sure you do contact the parent first. Call them, sit down, make a meeting and make a plan. Don't let them be shocked by the report, because sometimes if that's their reaction straight back might be a nasty email or a phone call because they're so shocked and wondering why you haven't brought this up earlier in order to help their child move forward. Does that make sense? Make sure that you include if they are receiving support, they're being withdrawn for EALD or mini-lit, or that they have someone that helps them write. Anything like that should really be included in their report to give an overall picture of where they're at. Number 3 is that parents are people, and anything you write is about their precious little person, and it should be positive. That is so many P's in one sentence, but very important that you write things in a positive manner and always looking forward to the future. It's not they can't do this and they're terrible humans. It's that they're working towards something and that they're kind humans. There's always good things that we can find about kids, even if there's a child that makes you want to pull your hair out. There's always positive things that you can say. Think about it as the compliment sandwich. If you've seen Heart of Dixie, and I think it's in like other shows as well, where you start talking about, you know, them being a part of the class and all their fantastic things that they are doing really well. You slide in the stuff that needs work, and then you always wrap it up with how you're looking forward to the future for them. It's really important to do it in this sense, because remember, the parents opening it up, it is about their most precious little person. Make sure that you word it in a way that's positive and that they don't come away feeling really bad about themselves or like they've done something wrong, that you have given them hope for the future in what their child can do. The report is to inform them of their child's learning. It's not for you to sound like a literature professor. Yes, it should be professionally worded, but it also needs to be accessible for the parent to read and draw out the information. You might have the odd parent that wants a little bit more clarification, but generally a parent should be able to read it and understand where their child is at, because it is to inform them. Number 4 is trying to word it really well for kids that are below grade and above grade. This can be really, really tricky. Obviously the kids that are working at grade, you can say have achieved this. But when you're working below grade, you want to say it in a positive way. So they are working towards, they are beginning to, they are starting to, using those kind of beginners, and then obviously whatever the syllabus term is or whatever that you need to write next to it. The kids that are smashing it at life, they're above grade, they're just smashing goals, you have to give them something to look forward to as well in the future. I can't just be, oh, well, they're amazing and they don't need to make any changes. We can always get better, make changes. You might word it in a way that they can challenge themselves to, they can become more of an expert in. Always looking forward to that future statements and things. Number 5 is to check for your school for grammar guides or old reports. Don't, like I said, reinvent the wheel. There should be some old reports that you can read. Every school is so different. So making sure that you read it for your school and how, you know, the general comment is worded, what's included in there, and see if they have certain letters that need to be capitalized. Obviously, all your topics, your subject areas should all have a capital letter. Things like semester 1 is, do you use a 1? Do you use the word 1? Has semester got a capital? Has 1 got a capital? If you say this semester, does then semester not have a capital anymore? There's so many rules around all that. So making sure you're reading old reports in order to inform what you're going to write, because you don't want it to come back from your supervisor full of red pen, full of sticky notes, just based on grammar. You want that kind of thing to come back, help change little tweaks and things, not to completely be a whole grammar issue. So tip number 6 is to write all your reports on an autosave document, because if you're like me in the past, you have accidentally not saved hours of work. So make sure that you do it in an autosave document. I'm not sure if some people's reports you write it straight in. I actually save it in a Google Sheets, which is like an autosave document through Google Drive. And that kind of helps me to make changes because it is a working document. You're definitely not sitting down in one night and smashing out 30 reports. You're doing it over a couple of weeks and you need to make constant changes and review them. And then that way you can then put it into the program. Number 7 is to print out your reports and edit them before handing them in. I find if I do it on a computer and I try to edit it, I miss stuff. I'm such like a pencil and paper girl at heart. So I print them out. I use my colored highlighters. I make it fun. I go through with my glasses on and read it in real life, highlighting any changes I need to make and then adding them into my computer. I find way more mistakes that way, and that helps me to then hand them into my buddy or supervisor or principal with a lot more confidence in what I've written, because I've checked the grammar, I've checked for silly mistakes, and that they actually make sense. Because writing for like 8 hours of report writing, your brain starts to go fuzzy and not make sense anymore. So you want to make sure you read back through them before you hand them in to your boss. Number 8 should be a really easy one, but sometimes you've got like 900 characters or 1200 characters to fill and you just can't fill them about that child because you just don't have enough information. But it is to not say anything that's not true or something that's super vague. If you have not observed them working in a group, don't say they work well in groups because you don't know that. It's really important to only say things that are truthful, because later on it could really bite you in the bum, because it is written, it's a written document, it goes home to parents, it goes on their file. Make sure that you only say statements that you believe and that are true. Don't just go off in your head what you think the child is or is not able to do. Make sure that you use your observation notes, all of your data, write dot points throughout the year, and just don't go off a blank piece of paper trying to explain what that child's like. It's really helpful to do dot points throughout the year of how they work in groups, if they add to discussion, all those important things that we know we need to involve in a general comment. And number 10 is the big one. Do not make any assumptions about the child's ability or the future. You are not a mind reader. You cannot say if they apply themselves more, they will be successful in year 3. They will be getting a HD in maths if they just did this one thing. No, you are not that child. You cannot make promises for them. That's not how it works. You cannot make assumptions about their ability. As much as you feel like you know a child's ability, capability, what they're capable of, avoid using that wording, because again, it can come back to bite you in the bum, because you are making a promise to that parent if they do this one thing that they will achieve in that area. You can't say that. As much as we know the kids and they're our little people and we know them so well and we spend 6 hours a day with them, you cannot make promises to the parents about the future or about their ability, because you just don't know. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope that it was informative for you. It definitely gave me a refresher of what to write in my reports, because there's lots of things we forget as we're writing them, and we're just spending weeks and weeks putting them together. I've definitely spent weeks and weeks putting mine together, and they are nowhere near finished, and they're due next week. So I really need to get on it straight after this video. I'm going to edit it and put it up and then get back to my report writing. And remember to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and comment below if you have any tips and tricks so we can all work at this together. I've got some resources tagged below as well, including the Teach Starter free comment banks, which is super duper helpful. There's even one for remote learning if you're commenting on that at the moment. And I'm also going to put in, my friend Ali from The Young Educator has this awesome resource on her TPT store, which is all about helping beginning teachers and report writing and all sorts of stuff. So make sure you check it out. And for watching this one, thank you kindly.